Hey everyone, we're doing a bonus episode now.
Surprise!
Yeah.
Bet you didn't expect to see us.
Yeah, turns out we're not done talking about Swans yet.
No, we are not.
Yeah, so I don't think we really need to do an intro this time since this is just a bonus episode, right?
Yeah, not really. I think people kind of intuit what the whole thing with this is.
Yeah. So yeah. So of course, in episode 5, we did talk about what's probably the least Swans-like album possible, The Burning World.
Mm-hmm. And it
Yeah. Oh yeah. And this time, we're just gonna take a look at something more Swansy. Their newest album, Birthing, which came out last week, as of the time we're recording this.
Yeah, we are recording this probably like 8 days in advance. So if anything funny happens in between us recording and this releasing, just know we did it on purpose. We are soothsayers. We can read the future, and you should do what we tell you.
We are seers.
We are seers.
I see it all. I see it all. I see it all. So yeah, I also, on one hand, I probably should have waited until I got the CD copy, so I could have told y'all how it feels listening to this on CD. But on the other hand, kind of want to get this out of the way so that way we have more time to digest the albums for episode 6.
True, very true.
So yeah, and also I've already listened to this album 4 times in the past week.
I've listened to it twice, and I'd say the first time I listened to this album might be the ideal version to this, which was I was driving from visiting a friend in Houston to San Antonio, which is about a 3.5-hour drive, and I was feeling kind of emotionally grumbly. I was like, my life, so it was kind of a perfect place for something like this to just kind of fill the time and emotional maximalism.
That makes sense. The way I listen to it, I just put it on, I reclined in my chair, I cut myself off from distractions as much as I could. I did take a break between discs. And I just took it in after waking up from what ended up being an accidental 6-hour nap.
Plenty of rest. Did you dream about Swans?
No, I didn't. Michael Gira has been in my dream at one point, though.
Nice. Probably calling you polite again.
I actually forgot the details of that dream. But anyway, yeah, the other times I've listened to this album, there has always been some kind of interruption, technically, but like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really count if you're doing something between the discs, because that is intended in a way.
I guess that often happens with some of these longer projects where it seems like there's some kind of demarcation point between, just like, hey, it's nobody's going to listen to something in a whole big chunk, or at least it's not super common to.
Yeah. Oh, there is a very clear demarcation point between these two discs. They're very distinct from each other.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Yeah. So, before we actually dive into the tracks, I do want to say that this album, according to the words of Michael Gira, this was meant to be the band's final big sound album.
I've also read that, and I think that is interesting that this kind of forms the end of a trilogy with Leaving Meaning, The Beggar, and then this, and then I guess his next pursuit with Swans is going to be, I guess, something different sounding. He might go back to like gothic country.
I'll be honest. I don't really think of those three albums as a trilogy in the way I think of The Seer, To Be Kind, and The Glowing Man as a trilogy. And I feel like these, to me at least, these kind of just stand alone.
I guess neither do. Yeah, I don't really think of them as like a cohesive trilogy, but I guess they're kind of. It's like it's so easy to compare the three because they're distinct from the Seer trilogy, and it's like three albums of big sound, and now, all right, we're moving beyond big sound to ask whatever Jiro wants to pursue next.
Yeah, I guess you could. Maybe you could say it's going in reverse, and not in reverse. It is kind of exploratory in its own way. It's like Leaving Meaning is very spiritual, I feel, and it feels like it's reaching beyond. Meanwhile, The Beggar is very focused on death and mortality, while Birthing is about birth.
Yeah, I guess that is an interesting little chronology to do things. And I guess with Birthing, yeah, I guess you want to kind of start talking about the tracks?
Yeah, The Healers.
Track 1. It is very big.
Oh yeah, this is 21 minutes. And
it's very grandiose speech. Sorry, you go.
Fun to note is that this is like the first Swans album since 2010 where they don't have to cut anything to make any cuts or alterations to the track list to fit it on vinyl. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'd actually get this on vinyl at some point and not regret it. But yeah,
very nice.
It's a very it starts off actually starts off kind of somber. Well, it's not really somber, but it starts with these earthy guitar tones.
Yeah, it does start you very kind of and I guess when we were recording for the episode, we recorded yesterday, but for the audience it'll be a week ago. I was talking about what kind of makes a conventional quote-unquote swan song, the way that if you told somebody to picture a swan song, what would be the very first thing that would come into their head type of thing. And this feels like I've seen some of the detractors from this album have been claiming that it's sounds that they've done before and better. I don't know if I would say they were done better before. This thing is very it's a very long song. It is big, even by Swans standards. It's unusual for Swans to have 20-minute songs, that long. And it just starts slow, and then just hits you. Right there, and it's really good. It's really this one in particular, I think is really, really good. I feel like I'm still wrapping my head around it because it is recent, and this is a band like Swans. But yeah, damn.
I have a lot of notes on every song here, so I'm probably going to ramble a lot for all of these songs.
I mean, by all means, take the lead on this episode. You're more of the scholar here than I am.
All right, so I wrote down about the lyrics as much as I could. I have at least 15 notes, I'm pretty sure, on this one song alone. All right, so the lyrics here. I guess are Michael singing from the perspective of a mother with a newborn child. And, yeah, where the first line is, I am the mother of a daughter. Yeah, my first joke was Michael's coming out.
Aw, hooray.
Yeah, in general, this song in this section has a lot of angelic imagery to it, I've noticed. And I guess that
looking through it, I see what you mean.
Yeah, and I guess that makes sense. given the imagery of birth, and which continues when he sings, "The light flies out from in my thighs." So maybe this could be about. You think this could be about Mother Mary?
Ooh, okay. That's something I hadn't thought about or hadn't considered.
That's just off the cusp. That part's off the cusp. But I just generally thought it was about a mother, but I guess I don't really get any like specific religious imagery from this album. It just feels more spiritual in the general sense to me.
Yeah, like it's not like denominational, but it just kind of simulates that feeling of like religious or like otherworldly experience and the overwhelming nature that it can have on the human brain.
Yeah, and
I love
I guess
that
it's
shit.
I guess it's kind of ironic for me to enjoy it this much, this band, considering that like I absolutely do not believe in anything spiritual at all.
Oh yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, it's
But
just that it's just he just has a way of conveying his own, whether it's his own spirituality or just the feeling of it, just of in general, whether he's trying to convey a mood, he's just really good at it.
yeah, Primal Scream wrote one of the best gospel songs of all time, and it's just about somebody doing MDMA for the first time and tripping out. So, everybody's got to believe in something, and I believe in music.
I do too. I also wonder, this one I did write down is maybe this could be about Mother Earth.
Ooh. Also wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah, given there is some imagery later on when he's thinking about sifting through powder and red dust.
That does sound very space-like.
It's very witchy. Honestly, I could see those lyrics being on a Jarboe solo album.
Does sound a bit like her songs.
Yeah. And I also do wonder if there's any kind of connection between this and where he's wondering. So Michael had a very strained relationship with his mother. Up until the point she died, and what if this is like contemplating what kind of relationship he has with his own children? If he can be a better parent to them than his mother was to him.
And I know he was talking about some of his a bit of that relationship on the Burning World's Universal Emptiness. I wasn't sure how much of that was autobiographical, but if that was indeed his experience, then yeah, I'm certain that he's pulling a little bit of that from here. How he is now on the other side of this dynamic that's formed the beginning of his life.
Yeah, like it makes sense that he's at this point now, given his age. Like he's gonna be thinking about that a lot, like what he's leaving behind.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
he had a whole album about that last time. And then about 7 minutes and 57 seconds in, that riff that kicks in, that doom 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 doom, it's that's a riff from Rope the Beggar off of Live Rope.
Ooh.
Yeah, I believe that one's about like 70 so minutes into that song on Rope the Beggar. It's one of my favorite parts of that song. And given how much I love that song, that is saying a lot. So hearing it here, like in a different way, it's interpreted a different way, does really enhance the song for me.
That is a fun little incorporation and a reference point. I never
And,
would have gotten that.
yeah,
It's cool.
and I also do like, of course, Michael rambling under his breath as he does. Yeah,
There's
that's
no
just
to do.
yeah. Or and then as the song continued, I started to realize, what if this is about the fear of bringing a child into a world like this that is becoming increasingly more and more hostile.
That would also, yeah, not an unfound fear in human history, and I think you could also interpret, especially in like verse 4 when he starts talking about angels sailing through dust, so many teardrops, so many pearls. Like, there's such a life really is like a mixed bag.
Yeah, and I also do say it's because this is a bit of a spoiler, but this is probably Swans' most political album in a while, like since the '80s, to be honest.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I don't really think of Swans as like a political band, or at least not like a populist one in any
Yeah,
case.
like they don't really make like their early '80s stuff is definitely their most overtly political period. It's like those first four albums are about as anti-authoritarian as it gets. But yeah, we'll get into that soon. But now though, as this song just inches towards the end, Michael's vocals are just he just goes the fuck off.
Yeah.
Like he sounds as this might be the best. This album might be the best he sounds ever.
Yeah, I'm been noticing that comparing like this with the Burning World is that Jira's voice is definitely grows more powerful with age.
Yeah,
Like he carries
exactly.
such a like a wisdom to his voice.
For sure. It's just like he has done so much with his voice. It's like you can hear the age in there, but he knows how to make it work, and he knows how to command an audience.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Yeah. And I also like that it just ends with him saying, like him quietly saying, "Okay, that has to be good enough."
Yeah.
That was a fun way to end it.
It is. Michael, it is.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have to say about that song. What about you?
Yeah, I've kind of exhausted all of my thoughts. Ready to move on to the second track and the first single from the album, I'm a
I guess the
Tower.
only single.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
want
right.
you-
That was the only single.
Yeah, I want you to tell me all your thoughts on this before I drop what the song was inspired by.
Oh, I'm spoiled about what the song was inspired
Oh.
by already, and I
Oh, yeah.
definitely. So, my first thought is that, yeah, I also get fucked up nightmares. So, I'll let you like reveal it to the those who don't know. But I also do get fucked up nightmares, so I completely understand wanting to just put it into art and then kind of making the rest of the world deal with it. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. And
Alright.
these lyrics are very, like, yeah, if I was complaining on The Burning World that the lyrics felt very plain for Jira really just, like, lets it all out here.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is like the exact opposite of the Burning World in terms of lyricism, and that's not a slight against the Burning World either.
Oh, yeah.
Like
No, not at all.
So yeah, to spoil what this song is inspired by, it was inspired by a vision Michael had of Donald Trump in a threesome with Roy Cohn and Richard Nixon.
Yeah. The Three Amigos.
And he specified Trump as being the lucky Pierre.
Lucky Pierre. I mean, I bet he was the youngest of all those fucking guys.
But like, yeah, that he revealed that sometime after releasing it, and then deleted that Instagram post. But like, I saw the post personally, so like I could tell you for sure that was a thing he said, and of course when he explained that, he immediately condemned Trump, which is base.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense given given those anti-authoritarian albums from the '80s.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard for him to like go from, and I know that like a lot of cool people have been or have turned out to suck, like like Glenn Danzig or whatever. But it is nice that yeah, he kept that consistency because with some of these like, and I know he's technically a boomer, but like with these Gen X icons, you really are like walking on a tightrope sometimes. You really never can tell.
Like I know people were like shocked when he said that he was voting for Harris on Instagram, and that from that point on he turned off the comments on all his posts.
Yeah, he's like a 70-year-old guy from New York. Of course he's a Democrat, but like, still.
Like I'm like, I don't know how you could listen to a guy who made songs like "Cop," "God Loves America," and "Amnesia," which he reworked "Amnesia" on "Leaving Meaning," which came out during the first. Okay, so "Amnesia" was on "Love of Life," which came out during H.W. Bush's presidency, and "Leaving Meaning" came out during Trump's first term.
Okay.
And that song has the line, "The president's mouth is a whore."
Yeah.
So like it makes
not a lot of wrong ways to interpret that one.
And also like there is literally a trans woman who takes lead vocals on a song on "Leaving Meaning." So.
Ooh. Ally.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how anyone could have been shocked, but like. Yeah, this song is basically him just taking that intrusive thought he had and making it everyone else's problem, which is not the first time he's done this. Like he had, their song "I Crawled."
Which one was that from?
Well, it started on the Young God EP, but the most famous version was the "Swans Are Dead" version, which was performed by Joe Bo.
Okay, can't say I do.
Alright, so that came from a nightmare Michael had back in the 80s where Ronald Reagan was his father.
Ew. Yeah, I get that. That would be a nightmare of mine as well.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like not even the first time this has happened. and like these lyrics are once he dropped that bombshell about this, the lyrics just started to click with me.
Yeah, especially the part where he just repeats "I alone will fix it" over and over again.
Yeah, which could be a reference to a book called "I Alone Can Fix It," Donald J. Trump's catastrophic final year. That title did not age well.
Oh no! Well, that was the thing he said. Like I forget if that was his or what time he ran for president, but he would always just say, "I alone can fix it." So that's like pretty well associated with him, especially like those specific 5 words in that row.
Exactly, and it's like, and that verse when it's just Michael is very much that's very much the threesome happening.
Mm.
Like he's saying, like, "Speak up, Dick, bring wonder, bring blunder. A fish-headed fixer."
Yeah, it's definitely Roy Cohn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then okay, so when this first came out, everyone was making fun of the lines, "Show me an ocean and I'll fart as it boils," and "I am the best fucking fuck that you never will have."
Yeah, I mean, that sounds exactly like like being Donald Trump, Cohn, Nixon, all very paranoid, narcissistic people. It's exactly the type of fucked up things that some, old paranoid curmudgeon who's, grasping onto power by any means necessary would act. And, I think when it ties into the kind of birthing theme of the album, there is a little bit of like, oh, these old people, are just holding on to this like petty grasp of power instead of letting a new generation flourish out of their own decomposing corpse, like has happened to every other generation in history.
Exactly. It's like he's like, yeah, he will, he'll show me an ocean and as far as it boils is, it's a climate change reference, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it basically ties in. You could also say it ties into the culture, the culture of owning the libs, as it were, which the GOP has run its entire campaign on over the past 8 years.
Oh yes.
And I am the best fucking fuck that you never will have. That's a brag. That is a brag to his base. And then the song just after we get that opening mantra again, that I alone will fix it, again sung by Michael's wife Jennifer.
Oh.
And then the song it enters its climax, and this is where it really shows its where it truly becomes a villain song. It's like, yeah, it's like this is this is where the title comes in. I am a tower, singing that like he's bragging that he is free to as this to quote another song from Swans, big strong boss. He's free to do what he wants. And the fact that the instrumental here is reminiscent of Heroes by David Bowie seems to be ironic in this case.
I did not catch that.
Yeah,
that is good observation.
Yeah, it does. So it's like the song is called Heroes, but we're gonna play this for a villain.
Yeah.
A villain that sees himself as a hero.
That sees himself as a tower. Which, Trump does have a lot of towers.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, these lyrics totally... They're only about one person. Or 3 people, I guess.
Yeah, but he's taunting the citizens. It's like, all you millions of fools down in your swimming pools. I am collecting heads. I am the last man left. That is the the cutthroatness of politics, but particularly Trump's brand of politics. And then the song ends where he calls himself a lamb, which I interpret as him, calling himself as like the Lamb of God. Which honestly, I have no reason to believe that Trump even believes in a god.
I'm pretty sure he does. I think, I don't know. There's some speculation after that assassination attempt, but I think he's just kind of crazy. I don't know. That's a tangent I could go down for way too long on.
Yeah, he also calls himself a kitten.
Well, yeah, everybody likes kittens.
Yeah, I do think that's intentional too. Like his base will just crawl to protect and coddle him like he's some sort of child that needs protection. Because they get all rabid when you criticize them.
That is a really good point, though. Yeah, they do kind of want it both ways.
Yeah. And he also called himself a tiny pink bubble, which I'm sure is a reference to how fragile he is, as evidenced by America's 2 most popular gay dads, Trump and Musk, breaking up and filing for divorce.
Oh no! It's the messiest Pride Month divorce that we've ever seen.
Yeah. So true. Yeah, and now they're probably just going to be fighting for custody.
Elon Musk is going to get deported to South Africa and get white genocided.
Yeah, he totally is.
I'm just kidding, of course. South Africa I've been there. It has enough problems. Let's not give them another one.
Yeah. Yeah, but before that bombshell dropped, I interpreted this song as basically just being about Michael himself, as potentially being like one of the last forerunners of that whole no wave scene from the early '80s.
Cool.
Actually, that could be another way to interpret the song. You think about it.
Like he's viewing himself kind of deliberately megalomaniacally as this kind of last bearer of this since forgotten knowledge or craftsmanship, something like that.
Yeah, like especially when he says, "I am the last man left." It's, like
He kind of is. Yeah.
it's a lot of those singers are either dead or they're not making music anymore. Like Sonic Youth has been broken up for a long time now.
Yeah, and like Thurston's and Lee's tracks or their solo careers aren't picking up steam as much as Kim's is.
Yeah, Kim's album from last year was fucking phenomenal.
It was really, really good. Top 5 of that year.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of just the whole thing, though, and I feel like if you interpret it that way, the hero's interpolation is more heartbreaking.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's kind of part of the beauty of Swans in this period is that there are many ways you can interpret their songs.
No, most certainly.
Yeah. After that, actually, I gotta take a sip first.
This is a pro hydration podcast. If you're listening to this, make sure to drink 3 to 4 ounces of water. And then at the next time we drink, go drink another 3 to 4 ounces of water. Hydrate yourself.
Hey, listeners, if you made it this far, that means you're not a whiny snowflake crybaby who calls people woke when you hear politics politics. Good for you.
Exactly, and that means you're better than most people.
Exactly.
Congrats.
Or if you are a snowflake crybaby that just hates yourself too much, hey, we're not done yet, but we are moving on to the next song.
Oh, I got opinions. I got opinions on Ice. I'm keeping to myself for now. Anyway, want to move on to track 3?
Yes, the title track, Birthing.
The title track, Birthing.
Also the disc 1 closer.
And what a closer.
Oh, yeah. So this is also the longest song on the album at 22 minutes, which is still kind of scant for this period of Swans, but but it still feels massive in context of the album and because it is massive.
Yeah, it's called Birthing, so it's gonna give you a song about birthing, the going from nothingness into everythingness. It's a very ambitious concept for a song to just posit it about birthing in general. But yeah, I think I think it's big. I do think it is sparse, but when it does kind of hit you, it does hit you. And, this is a part of the road trip where I just remember looking through a bunch of pastoral towns, a lot of, rolling hills and forests and weird German names. If anybody's ever driven past Schulenburg, Texas, very interesting sights when you're listening to an album like this with the politics that this one has.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I gotta take this album on the road someday and see how that goes. Yeah, one thing I do love that opening. It's it just throws you in. It's I don't want to say it feels like an explosion, but it does feel like a sudden burst of a sudden burst of the senses, like you have just been born.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all of a sudden things are being.
Voices calling, children singing, laughing, screaming without meaning.
Yeah, those are some lyrics. Yes, I also like the tremolo picking here. It reminds me of as part in the opening to the Seer, the title track to the Seer, like after after that initial explosion for that song.
Okay, yeah, pretty sure I remember that one. Is the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, it comes after the bagpipe freak out.
Okay, yeah, I'm now definitely thinking of that one.
Yeah, and about 3 minutes and 48 seconds in, it plays one of the riffs from Helpless Child off of soundtracks.
Yeah, I heard that this album was full of little reference points, and yeah, this is so many different points to reference. But I know
Yeah, and
Helpless Child is one of their uh, most beloved songs, I think.
it is. Yeah, it's like that. And one of the most important too. That was like their first post rock. That was like their first true post rock song. Like they
Okay.
had songs that built up before. Like I said in episode 5, there was "Blind Love" off of "Children of God," which felt like a prototype to that build up and climax formula. But "Helpless Child" was when they truly found that truly hit their stride with that. So,
Okay.
and
All right.
given the album cover, given the album cover feels like a reference to the soundtrack's cover in a way, it's appropriate.
It is truly a beige circle.
Yep, it truly is. We love our beige circles.
They're so
Yeah.
beige and require the use of the Greek letter slash variable pi to calculate the circumference of.
Yep, that do be a tasty circle.
That do be the traits of the geometrical circle.
Yep. Uh, so after some very gorgeous ascending riffs, which just put my neck hairs on edge, we get baby noises.
If only there was foreshadowing that
Yes.
there would be baby noises here.
If only. So I will be honest. The live rope. This song in general did take me a bit to really get.
Okay.
Yeah,
Elaborate.
that's the same for the live rope version, which is extended to 37 minutes, and I'm still not sure I quite get that one as much as the rest of that album. By the way,
Okay. Any reason that's got you feeling that way?
I think it just feels like it's. I feel like the live rope version. I don't know. I feel like that one just doesn't quite have the tonality in it yet to really hook me in, or some of the ideas aren't as fully fleshed out as they would be here.
All right, I can see that.
Yeah, because Swans hooks me in with tones and grooves, and the live rope version doesn't really have either. I still think it's neat, but I don't go back to that nearly as much as anything else on that album.
All right, I get what you mean by that.
Yeah, for a while here though, like it did still take me a while for this, but the more I listened to this version, the more I kept finding more and more things to get drawn into, and then when I re-listened to it the fourth time, which was like an hour ago, I just found myself absolutely enamored by it.
Okay. So it got to you in the end.
Yeah, and like
Nice.
I guess this is probably funny to say about a Swan song, but trimming the fat helped too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 21. It's only 22 minutes now.
Yeah, well, yeah, down from 37. I gotta imagine that they definitely did a lot of self-editing.
For sure. And some of the verses on here actually have reminded me of another Swan song too. Ebbing off of The Beggar.
Okay.
Which I feel like it's like the moment where it feels like the baby is about to be born.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
my-
Yeah. So, like, is the baby born on this album like Michael Gira? And like all these reference points to other Swans albums are like kind of foreshadowing for the career that he would have.
I never thought of it like that. Actually, that would be an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, if that, because I guess that does like I don't know, that's probably one way that like all these reference points kind of come in. I
Yeah.
wonder.
I also do wonder if it's also supposed to tie into To Be Kind in a way, because that one also had a lot of baby references, and of course the famous baby cover.
Oh yeah, that was one coverful baby.
Yeah. I have that poster. I have that poster right beside me right now.
Yeah, I need to get posters for my
It's
room generally.
oh, I have one, two, three, four. I have 7 Swans posters.
Very nice.
Yeah. Also, Dead Kennedys, Beatles, and Sonic Youth.
Oh,
Which,
very nice.
fun story about the Sonic Youth one. Apparently, I had a sleep paralysis demon once that took shape, and that took the shape of some of the silhouettes of my Sonic Youth poster.
Oh dang.
Yeah,
Was he a cool sleep paralysis demon?
it was just freaky. It was like freaky shadows, but like I woke up, like, oh, it's just Sonic Youth.
I got
Oh wait,
let's
I
see.
also have
What are
MF
my
Doom.
oh nice. My sleep paralysis demons are a rail map of Europe, a map of Arizona for some reason, a map of the Hawaiian island Oahu, a map of the Caribbean Sea, and a map of downtown Honolulu, which is on Oahu. My mom really likes maps, and I haven't had a chance to move out her decorations from this one yet.
Damn.
So there are. Well, also, I like maps too, but eventually you do kind of get bored looking at Arizona.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I get bored looking at West Virginia.
Fair enough.
Yeah. With back to birthing. It, eventually it does settle down, and Michael is just singing softly, like as the baby, saying I like when he sings, "I'll go now." Like I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the birthing.
Yeah. And then
So
that next line about a tunnel carved in the air falling.
yeah, that is definitely the birthing. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I'm just having a funny interview where the interview kept calling the band The Swans and the album The Birthing. Uh,
Uh,
the Burning
Dang.
World, The Filth, the Great Annihilator, the soundtracks for the blind. I could.
Yeah. And next up, we have an interview with the surviving members from our favorite 80s new wave band, The.
True. Yeah. Also, and then there's a part where we get the line, "Pay attention, motherfuckers."
Children do like being paid attention to.
Oh yeah, that basically it's "I'm the baby, gotta love me."
You gotta love that baby. You gotta
Yeah,
look at the baby. You gotta
it's
spend
like,
time with the baby.
and also the baby's already pondering its own mortality by the end of the song.
That's one fucked up baby.
Yeah.
Maybe this is about Michael Jura.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is to some degree. Like, oh, let me tell you all the ways that you're fucked up. The soundtracks for the blind episode would sure be something.
That would be fun. That's one of those. I would like to talk about that album. I guess just because every song is different from every other song on
Yeah,
it. That sounds very entertaining. I would love to
yeah,
pair that up with another album that's kind of in that vein.
yeah. Maybe we could think about that someday.
The thinking begins now. Seed planted. Idea will sprout when it's good and ready.
True. Yeah, it will be birthed in due time. Yeah. Basically, and then it
Oh,
just
because
ends
this
on.
birthing is the name of the album that we're. I'm sorry, you go.
Uh, yeah, so basically, the song does just go on for a bit. Like, it's kind of hard for me to talk about instrumentals, so when I describe instrumental passages, it's probably not going to be very descriptive. So please forgive me for that.
Yeah, this album like kind of sounds the way you're expecting it to sound. It's somber and then it's gigantic, and that kind of depends on where you are in the album. So just kind of that's the whole vibe you're going for.
Yeah, it's and it just and then it just ends, and that's disc one. Probably one of the most, unapproachable Swans. Probably one of the most unapproachable discs in Swans history, at least from this era. Because I am the kind of person who thinks that not like I guess music listener who doesn't actively seek out this stuff like this would probably have a harder time getting into those early albums than any of the 2 hour stuff. But this might be an exception.
Yeah.
It might be a bit of an exception to that.
Yeah, it's definitely like I mean it's a big album, and if you're not like into this, then like a 20-minute song is a lot to ask of somebody's time. If they're not already like with the program.
Yeah, like previously I would have said that The Glowing Man was like their most unapproachable album from this era, but I think this takes the cake in that regard.
Yeah, and I think about why why To Be Kind is considered the like one of Swans' greatest albums compared to the other ones, and I think it is because it is plenty accessible in a lot of points. Songs like Screenshot or A Little God in My Hands or the world famous Oxygen are conventional. They're conventional enough that like I could see like a normie rock fan getting into them, but they're also spacey and odd enough that you can tell they're uncompromised visions.
Yeah, To Be Kind is like their grooviest album.
Yeah, even that like 30-minute like song like Behind the Sun to Saint Louverture, like I like that one. So I will just go back and listen to all 30 minutes of that because it just sounds really nice, especially with all like the war horses and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So honestly, I might be jumping the gun here, and I know what I said when we record episode 5, but this could end up taking the cake. This could end up topping To Be Kind for me over time.
Ooh, time will tell.
At the very least, I'm putting it up there with White Light.
It's up there, folks. It's a contest, and honestly, I'm thinking the same, or kind of this, but for like I think my album of the year so far. I have a lot of stuff to catch up on, but I think my album of the year right now is Black Hole Superette by Aesop Rock, and I'm also kind of in that like this could be my favorite Ace album, but I just need more time to be sure.
I gotta listen to more Aesop Rock albums. Labor Days. I love Labor Days so much. One of my favorite rap albums of the 2000s.
Oh yeah, if you like have you heard any other Aesop Rock things?
None Shall Pass.
None Shall Pass. That's a good song.
Yeah. I've heard the whole album.
Oh, okay. The album's sweet. Well, yeah, people like the Impossible Kid a lot because it is very personal. I think Black Hole Superette is also a lot of fun. Integrated Tech Solutions from last year is also pretty interesting. It's got like a good theme to it, but I feel like I don't know. I guess if you like Labor Days, then maybe the kind of vague dystopianism of Integrated Tech Solutions might be something you'd gravitate toward.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. So yeah, disc 1 of Birthing. It is just incredibly heady, and it demands your full attention, like any good Swans album does. And it just builds these ever so fluid, constantly changing sonic soundscapes. So that feels like the pinnacle of that side of Swans in that regard. And disc 2 feels like the pinnacle of Swans' grooviness.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But for what it's worth, I did kind of demarcate these albums because in between listening to Red Yellow when I was on my road trip, I had to stop somewhere to use the restroom at a truck stop. So I did have like kind of a break in between the first half and the second half, even if it was like 7 minutes while I filled up with gas and ate a hot dog.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And that's probably how it's intended as well.
So yeah, Red Yellow, track 4, officially starts off the latter half of this project. It's the shortest song. I think it's just under 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's 6 minutes 51 seconds, I believe.
Ooh, nice. On the money. Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just, I don't know. This is, you tell me what the song's about.
This is probably one of their catchiest songs ever. There's not many Swan songs I can call catchy, but this is there.
I really like that, that chorus where it goes in like, red, yellow, moon, yellow, red, yellow. Like that stuff's pretty nice. I think that's a good, little, like phonetically that, like, sounds like a nice little rhyme.
It does, and honestly, this song in general, just the rhythm of it, the melody, like, it actually has a melody, by the way. It feels straight out of a Tim Burton movie.
It is very, a little Danny Elfman like it's creepy but theatrical.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's lyrics about microplastics.
Yeah. Your belly is pregnant with plaster and sawdust and lust. You're feeding us in disgust. Your eyes are traversing red canyons in the floor of an ocean swirling with sulfur, carbon, and rust. Yeah, that is also pretty political.
Yep. So yeah, we're not done. We're not done with the politics yet, and it sucks that has to be a political issue, but you know.
This does also tie into that other theme of bringing a child into the world where there is suffering and pain from the opening.
Yeah, and so apparently, red and yellow are like the first colors that you learn to see.
Interesting.
So
the man did his research.
Yeah, I learned that when I listened to Lateralis by Tool, because they mentioned red and yellow as well.
I guess that kind of makes sense because, like, when I close my eyes and I look at a light, it does vaguely look reddish and yellowish.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if that has anything. Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but it's probably like, the first like light you see when you are born probably is like overwhelming and might look something like that. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure with when you close your eyes and you see, into a light and see radio, I'm pretty sure that is just the that is just the blood. That is just the blood in your eyelids. I'm pretty sure.
Who says babies can't have eyelids?
Oh, they definitely. I'm sure.
I think babies should have all the eyelids they want.
Yes. Yes, like the baby just comes to you and says, "Give me your eyelids."
Texas is a pro-life state, and like every pro-life state, we need all the eyelids for the babies that we can get. They need as many eyelids as they can so they can close their eyes to not look at homosexuality on the television. But every child watches the television. Children in 2025 love television.
God bless.
Oh, is that Pentecostal shit?
I'm sure. Is Texas not Pentecostal?
We're kind of weird. We got the Bible Belts in one half of the state, but I'm from like a super Catholic part of the country. Although I actually do have like Mexican Pentecostals in my family, and yeah, they are loud.
Yeah,
No
I guess
disrespect. I love you guys, but you are very loud and you scare me.
I guess I didn't know that loud preaching thing was specific to any denomination. I kind of thought that was just a general a general thing for those kinds of for just like the televangelist types.
Oh yeah, like there is that type of like a charismatic. I think specifically like evangelical, or at least Protestant type of thinking. But like Pentecostals are the people who speak in tongues.
Ah, yeah, I had no idea. Like I'm sure Michael speaks in tongues on this album. I'm sure.
I'm sure he's like looked up a history of the American Pentecostal Church and was like interesting,
I mean,
very interesting.
Children of God was an album from them.
Yeah. It ties it, yeah. I mean, like it ties into like the religious overwhelming experience, and that is kind of what the Pentecostals are going for. See, we brought it full circle. This wasn't a tangent.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, this is like the least I have to say about any of the songs on this album, which makes sense because it's the shortest song.
Yeah,
It's still that's not to diminish it though. It's still really good.
it is.
Like it has its place. Like it's a bit of a cool down. It's like, okay, we've hit you with these monumental slabs of noise and just ever shifting sounds for an hour. Now we're just gonna give you something to chew on.
Yeah, and that's good to have like kind of something to break that up. Like in and like yeah, we've said these two halves are different, but yeah, it is nice to have something to like kind of break things up a bit, so you're not just like hearing the same musical concepts for too long.
Yeah, exactly. I do feel like that was a bit of a complaint I had with Leaving Meaning.
I remember, yeah, like a few people had that kind of complaint that it was like a bit too like long and meandering.
Yeah, though.
This one feels a lot more focused.
That being said, My Phantom Limb is one of their funniest songs.
Ooh, I'll need to go back and listen to that one.
It's basically just the sound of three Michael Giros rambling out of tune.
Well, is it about Phantom Limb from the Venture Brothers?
No, but he does call himself the avatar of your semen.
I could see Phantom Limb from Venture Brothers saying that.
I need to watch
Maybe.
Venture Brothers.
It's got a lot of characters.
Well, I bet.
Characters are cool. As soon as they put the rest of the fucking Netflix only has the first 3 seasons, it's pissing me off.
Yeah,
I was right in the middle of a rewatch and they took it off of Max.
Oh, that's a whole shit show I could get into, but I'd rather get into the next song.
Guardian Spirit, which is track 5.
Yep. So the bass line there is even more hypnotic to me. Like, and it's very, damn near liminal, I'd say.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Like,
Yes, it's very, very strong.
and by the way, I guess I'm just going to clarify this. When I say something is liminal, I mean that as a compliment because I find liminal stuff to be comforting.
It is. Or it can be. I know.
Yeah,
I like low polygon liminal shit.
Like, it reminds me of Soundtracks of the Blind, again.
It reminds me of being on an old computer program from 1999.
That makes sense. So, I also wonder if this is another song about Trump.
It would make sense. His lyrics are very, visceral.
Yeah, like, especially when he says, your freedom is fake.
Freedom is fake. Get on the stick, swim in the shit, dig in this pit, suck milk from my tit. Come take what is left, cut off my sex. The fire in your sky is the black in my eye. It's very like like kind of the sundowning Mad Emperor shit.
Oh yeah, and also, and this is also my favorite Michael vocal performance on the album. This whole song.
He does get loud in it. Like, even
Yeah.
like kind of like looking at the lyrics, I'm noticing that there are more exclamation points here than the rest of the album.
Yeah, like he is like I don't think he's been this intense since To Be Kind.
Yeah, he's going for it.
He's just belting. Like he was belting at times on Live Rope too. So it's like he still has it at his age.
And that is very impressive.
Yeah, it is. Like also he says peel off your skin and and when I heard that I just thought of that Cars meme.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's intense in a different way from the rest of the album, and I love it for that. Like it's another villain song, but like it's a bit more show tuney than I Am a Tower. Like it's like I wouldn't say it's quite as visceral.
Yeah, it's definitely and with its shorter length too, it doesn't or like
Shorter length of 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, now 10 minutes and 57 seconds.
Yeah, true.
So you know, like comparatively with the rest of the songs on the album, it does kind of breeze by a bit.
Exactly. It's like the standard Swans formula. You take one song you take one riff and drive it into the ground. That's all you need with Swans. I mean, well, it's not all you need, but like they make it work. They've been making it work for decades.
Oh yeah.
Hit my mic. Yeah. After that, we get the merge.
The merge.
This song. This is a fucking trip.
You know, a song is going to be a trip when it starts in German.
Yeah. I love you, mommy.
Erst, zwei, drei, 1, 6, 7. Like, okay. Oh, damn.
Oh, so fun fact. I know where that blast beat that comes after Michael's kid saying "I love you, mommy." But I know where that blast beat comes from.
Ooh, where does it come from?
Have you heard of the Body Lovers / the Body Haters?
Body Lover. I can't say I have.
Alright, so that was a solo project that Michael had right after dissolving Swans and before starting Angels of Light. So Body Lovers / Body Haters was a dark ambient drone with some neo-folk in there. They released 2 albums. I have both of those albums on CD, by the way. They are rare.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess technically I have a compilation that combines both, but I also have the that second one.
It's all the same. You're good.
Yeah, the first one... So, the first one is called Number 1 of 3. You know, it is... all the tracks are just named after the lengths of each song.
Okay, that's interesting.
The other 2 parts did come out, but that second album was not one of those parts.
Those parts. Ooh. All
So
right.
yeah, these are also kind of sound collagey. The second part was released in 2010 as a bonus track to "My Father Will Guide Me Up a Rope to the Sky." It was a 46-minute sound collage called "Look at Me Go," and the third part was "The Beggar Lover 3."
Okay, got it.
So there's a song on number 1 of 3 called 613, and around 3 minutes in, it has that blast beat.
Okay, all right. So another reference point, an obscure one at that.
Yeah, exactly. So don't worry, I got you covered.
Okay. Yeah, this definitely does. Kind of help in some way. This album, maybe if not a reflection on Michael Gira's life, is some kind of reflection on the career that Swans have had up until this point.
Exactly. And I do feel this kind of plays in that same ethos as Beggar Lover and just body lovers in general. Like because especially when it just turns when it just and when we get that grimy as fuck bass line. Bow 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 bow
Very
bow
nice.
bow. It's like that also kind of that also just sounds does kind of remind me of some of the bass lines they had during the filth era.
Yeah, I
Like it,
can see what you mean. Yeah, it's a little no wavy.
yeah, like they took that and just filtered it through their new sound.
It's always artists can really get some good ideas out of that.
Yeah, and I do wonder if this is the sound maybe that they might go with going forward to an extent.
That would be interesting if they went back to, yeah, kind of the 80s days.
Oh, I mean like the sound collage stuff.
Or I know, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm brain fart. Uh, oh yeah, I guess both would be interesting. But I think the sound collage thing does seem like something that would. I could see them being interested in it.
I know
So that you can do from there.
Michael has said he's interested in it. Like he said that back on the release for the Beggar.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, so like they'll pop so it might be going back to like a body lovers style thing where there's like some of these sound collage dark ambient stuff mixed with some neo folk. But probably closer to that than just straight up folk country style like on Angels of Light.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be a Swans album if it was straightforward.
Yeah, or it could be something totally different entirely. Who knows?
Who knows, indeed.
Yeah. So then then the instrumental just turns into a drill, which is a compliment, and then
Yeah.
we get Michael's son counting in English and German.
Oh, being bilingual. Gotta learn
Yeah.
that kid the bilinguality.
True. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like there like Swans had an EP that was in German.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Deter Issu EP.
Oh,
which
yes,
yeah,
okay.
which
Yeah, I've
has
seen that one.
yeah, like there's a song on there that's has an ambient intro and then it's a German version of Helpless Child.
Okay, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
German covers of their old songs.
Yeah, and it also has a song on there which was sampled into Soundtrack to the Blind, the song YRP2.
YRP2. Okay.
Yeah, it has it samples that scream.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was from the live performance of YRP that's on that EP called YRPRP.
YRPRP. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. This is just me info dumping Swan's history, but this album is Swan's history, so
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If they didn't want I mean, they put these reference points in so that fans could, or like fans are going to discuss them and like pick them apart when there are this many reference points in this album.
exactly. And there's just a lot to chew on here. And then eventually the song just settles into this very sparse, beautiful acoustic guitar piece.
It is very nice sounding.
Yeah,
I forget where it was, but I was in the middle of this song on the road trip when I stopped at another truck stop because I got hungry again. Now that I'm thinking of it, I don't think I had that hot dog at that first truck stop I went to. But I stopped and I texted you where I was at, and I was about like 8 minutes into this song.
I think I know that.
The merge, and I think you just said the merge, my beloved.
Yes, I did. Like, Yeah, at this point in the song, when it's just held down, it just feels like the eye of the storm. It's like it's like the rest of the song before it is like a look back into the past, and this song is where Michael is now.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There is a very like kind of chaotic clarity to it that does come with like being presently focused.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's a very it's a very cathartic moment in its subtlety.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. And then we get the final track, or final two tracks if you have it on CD, because they are split up on CD. Rope Away.
Rope away.
So, I'm just gonna say this now. This is one of Swan's best songs ever.
That seems to be a take I'm hearing from a couple people.
Like,
And
I would say,
I get it.
I'd say this is this is probably their most beautiful song, even.
Mm.
So,
Okay, you go.
so the rope section is all instrumental. It's like they don't their instrumentals don't tend to be long. So this is like their longest studio instrumental at 14 minutes. And so
Yeah, and it is a very like lush, or maybe not lush is the right word, but it was a nice 14 minutes.
it's also got a different context than it did on Live Rope.
Oh, do tell.
So you know, this is the same rope as in Rope the Beggar. So the live rope version is 31 minutes in full, but if you have it on CD, it's 24. But either way, on Rope the Beggar, it's more of a dramatic intro to the beggar. It's basically designed to just and I'd consider it one of Swan's heaviest songs. That version specifically. Like, some of the guitar tones on there are just absolutely insane. They just pummel you with such gravitas, in a way that is absolutely of this sound. They're not pummeling you in the same way that the early albums do. It's
Yeah, I get what you mean by like this versus the early albums pummeling you.
Yeah, like that. Like this one, it feels like the ground is opening up from under you and about to swallow you whole. And I think the trick to that is there is no feedback in their music. Like that is just all the guitars. That is all music.
Yeah, I can't say I have noticed that, but you're right.
Honestly, I think that's why I like their post rock stuff a lot. It's like they have some of the like from To Be Kind onwards. Their albums are some of the most well produced albums I've ever heard, and that includes the live stuff.
Oh yeah, they sound very clean, I guess is maybe the word, but in the way that like when you bite into like a hamburger, you'll say, "Oh, this is very clean meat," or something like that. Like it sounds very polished, or not clean, but yeah, not really clean.
It sounds
you know
dynamic.
what I mean, right?
I'd say dynamic.
Dynamic. Yeah, definitely that. It does sound dynamic. It sounds very strong, but it also just sounds like it's made by somebody who knows what they're doing.
Exactly, and I know Michael also said this will be the last Swans album where he is the main producer.
Mm. Excited to see who he ends up working with next.
Same, but yeah. So for the live version, it's like a dramatic fanfare into basically 55 minutes of Michael Gira making me want to live to be as old as him, and not only as old as him, but like old and lively as him. But the studio version is more heavenly. It's like ascending into Valhalla.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Yeah, I guess it's more droney too, I would say. and but like that's I'd say this is the best Swans drone, in period.
I mean, it does sound very nice. It sounds, and like especially because I mean, I listened to this on streaming, so I'm with the one track mindset of it. But especially when the lyrics come in, I think it gets to be kind of touching because it seems like these are when he's talking about these people. I'm assuming they're people that he is met.
Oh
or
yeah,
has he known that are no longer with him.
yes, they are. I can tell you who they are too.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that is the away section when the lyrics kick in. So, Alice was his mother,
Got it.
and William, it was Bill Riflin.
Oh, okay. He was the drummer, right?
Yeah, he was a drummer. Like he drummed on many of their albums. Like he was on The Great Annihilator. I know that, and he was also drummer for King Crimson from 2013 until his death in 2020.
Oh, dang. That's a nice gig.
Yeah. Catherine is Catherine Carousel, who took many screenshots of the band and some of those other no-wave bands during that time.
Okay, yeah, photographer. I think I've heard of her.
Yeah, and Simon Henwood, who has done some covers with Michael, like most famously the Seer cover.
Oh, all right, another visual artist.
Yeah,
Nice.
like he's commemorating these all these people who are no longer with us.
And that definitely, like, yeah, we get birthing, death, megalomania. He is like, there were like I guess a bunch of ways you could kind of interpret this track as fitting in with the themes of the rest of the album. But it is, I think at the end of the day, Jared doing his kind of acknowledgement of his own mortality and just a somber acknowledgement of, he's made it so much longer than so many of his other contemporaries.
Exactly. It's like, and he's also he also ponders whether they've gone to an afterlife.
Mm.
And maybe whether if he will see them again, if he will go to an afterlife.
Well, yes, we'll find out. As we
Yeah.
all will.
Yeah, we'll find out eventually. Like, it also kind of feels like a goodbye to this sound, this era of Swans.
Oh yeah, so subtextually, yeah, that's definitely a another way to look at it.
Yeah, it sounds at peace. Like
It really does.
even more at peace than the song called "Finally Peace," which was the closing track for the Glowing Man.
Oh yeah.
Like
Who knew
that one?
There's no more peace than being away. I don't
Yep,
know. There's something.
away and gone.
Gone.
It's just, and the music's just cut out to just fade out there. Well, not fade out, but like to just drop there. It's just, and that's the end of the album. It's just that is legitimately that is a top album closer of all time for me. A top Swan song of all time for me. And
Yeah, this song it ends super well when it just kind of, oh yeah, it's over.
yeah, it's like
I like that. I like that directness.
like I think I might say this is probably my second favorite album of the decade so far, just only behind Wall Socket.
Ooh,
Like
high praise.
It was never going to beat Wall Socket, but like,
Then yeah, I'm gonna have to I think about it in the context of my Pantheon of the Year. I mean, I definitely think it's like a 9 for sure. I think a lot of things are 9s, but I would easily kind of see this one growing on me. I'm definitely going to be returning to it as I go throughout the rest of Swan's discog.
I will call it a 10. I'm just gonna call it 10 now. I do have every single song starred.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, Beggar was also a 10 for the record.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very nice.
so like, yeah, they Swans just has a lot of tens for me, and that's not something I say about many bands or artists.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. I guess I'd say or like I didn't. It is just because of the weird way I use my own liked songs. I wouldn't say I liked every song on here, but I think every track on here was like worthy. So in effect, I'm just gonna say that yeah, every song I was listening to it and I was like, all right, wow, I was thoroughly impressed by that. That
Yeah,
did what it was trying to do, and it did it very well.
it's amazing, just like just how much all these the members of these bands are able to pull out at their age. And just how many ideas Michael has and is just able to transcribe into and to and the just the people he's able to pull in and to transcribe his vision. Like he seems to like he knows how to get his vision out.
Yeah, I mean, he's worked with so many people over the years. He's not like a hermit either. He's really good at kind of like getting his vision across through collaboration, which I find pretty impressive.
Exactly. It's like Michael is definitely is like a perfectionist. Like he is a visionary.
No, for sure. For certain.
Exactly. And the fact that he's still pulling out so many surprises, so many stops at this age, just and as well as his bandmates as well, it just makes me happy. This is the stuff that makes me excited for music in general. Like this is what I come to. This is like okay. I don't want to sound like the Kid A review from Pitchfork, but like I don't know. I just this makes me love music, and this isn't the only thing that makes me love music. There are many things I love music about, but like this is my bread and butter right here. This makes me happy to be alive.
Hell yeah! And I was happy we could get a chance to record it. This opinion needs to be preserved for posterity. It's an informed one.
Exactly, and I will still eventually do a scripted review of Birthing whenever I get to that in my every Swans album review journey.
Hell yeah! Looking forward to that video.
Yeah, and because I'm sure by then I'll have more time. I'll have had more time to digest it, as well as the rest of the discography. Well, I've had plenty of time to digest that, but like. Surely then I can put it I can look at within the scope of the Swans catalog as a whole. But for now, I will say that this does have a chance of becoming my favorite Swans album.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. For now, I'm just gonna put it in terms of studio albums. I'm gonna say it's my third favorite behind To Be Kind and White Light.
And I have listened to I've only listened to soundtracks from The Blind, To Be Kind, and The Beggar in their entirety. No, I also listened to Leaving Meaning. So those are the only ones I've listened to like front to back in their entirety.
Well, Burning World too.
Oh yeah, that one. I literally just listened to it. Okay, so I'm at 6, and yeah, this might be number 2 for me below To Be Kind.
Hell yeah.
For whatever that opinion is worth.
Love to see it. Yeah, Birthing is just magnificent. But yeah, I think
heard it
I've
here first, folks.
Yeah, I think I've emptied the tank on what I have to say about Birthing for now.
Awesome. I'd say I have as well.
All right, awesome. So, with that out of the way, thank you for listening to the first bonus episode. We plan to do these like just every now and then, and we just get an idea, just something quick we can do. Yeah, just.
Yeah. And this was This seemed like a good idea. So we
Exactly.
did it, and I think we were right. It was a good idea.
Yeah. So that we look forward to the next episode, and be sure to watch the prior episodes as well. If for some reason this is your first episode of this podcast.
Hi, new fans.
Hi.
We talk about music that isn't Swans sometimes, but, under protest.
We talked about Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, we've earned this.
Yeah, we deserve it. Anyway,
I have nightmares. The way Michael Gira has nightmares about that Cohn-Nixon-Trump threesome, I have nightmares about Vanilla Ice singing Rastaman to me at my house, refusing to leave.
Do you think they do that? Do you think they play Rastaman on loop at Guantanamo?
I mean, I'm sure they used to. If any of them had listened to the album, they probably would have.
Yeah.
I can't reckon they all just kind of skipped it after the first track as well, like most of America.
I like that we just can't stop shitting on Rastaman.
It transcends episodes.
True.
It was that bad.
Yeah. I'd rather transcend with Swans though. They're transcendental in the good way. Just to leave it on a positive note.
Yeah. We leave it on that positive note. My name is Foxx.
My name is Mageclick.
And this was our podcast's first bonus episode.
See ya.
See ya.